Good morning, everybody. This is Van Hargis with Van Hargis Horsemanship. And of course, this is the Ranch Road. I appreciate you guys joining me again this morning on the Ranch Road. And today, I'm going to get right to it because I'm going to try to keep this darn thing as short as we can. But there's just been two things that's been on my heart a lot today, ever since early this morning. I wake up crazy early, it drives my wife nuts. But that's my morning time. That's my meditation time. That's when I do all my thinking and all that kind of good stuff to kind of get prepared for the day. Um, Today, for whatever reason, two of my favorite quotes have just been on my mind and on my heart a whole heck of a lot, and I thought I needed to go over those more. These are two of the quotes that I use a lot. I mean, I use these things a whole heck of a lot. One of which, for any of you who have ever been around me much, especially at the clinics or at the expos or even in my intern program, you've heard me say this a lot. You've heard me share the story where I learned this quote, but it was called Reward the Thought. And what does that mean? You see, I'm a real big believer that even with horses think before they act. There's no way they can get that big giant body to move without thinking about it first. So whenever we're asking a horse to do something, it's really important that we ask. And as we ask, we're waiting for this horse to give us a response. And when it looks like this horse is about to do what we want it to do, in other words, it looks like they're even thinking about it, I want you to pull the pressure off of them at that point in time. Why? Because it's so important that the horses learn to build on the thought. Why? Because the thought will eventually convert to an action, you see. In the beginning, if you reward the thought, and then suddenly the thought's not going to be enough, the only thing that the horse has left to do is take some sort of action. If that action is positive, great, you leave it alone. That's a great thing. If it's not what you want, then you change the way you ask in order to get the thought and eventually the action that you're really seeking out, you see. So the thought is so important. Reward the thought. The second quote I want to bring to you guys today is another one that I'm sure most of you have heard me use before, and especially those who have been to the clinic, seminars, and the intern program. Everything comes to he who waits, so long as he who waits works like heck while he waits. That has been on my mind a lot because of the first quote. In other words, the thinking, the thought, you see. I'm a huge believer in mind, body, and spirit. You know, I'm a huge believer in that. What the mind does is the mind thinks. So it's great that we think about whatever it is that we want. So I'm encouraging you guys that if there's something that you want in your personal life, if there's something you want for your horses, then put your thoughts toward that. Think about what it is that you want. Think about it. Think about it as much as you possibly can, and just give that a tremendous amount of thought. But the reality is, thoughts by themselves aren't enough. Just like we were talking about a moment ago, that the thought will convert to action. The next thing is, you've got to take action. So yes, while everything comes to he who waits, while you're waiting, think about what it is that you want and be patient about that. Think about it in great detail. Think about it in very specific terms. Another thing I refer to a lot is my 4 questions of professional horsemanship, or of successful horsemanship. And one of those is what do you want? You see, so think about what you want. And again, this could be in both your personal life as well as in your horsemanship. What do you want your horse to do? What do you want to do? In other words, give that some thought. But eventually, you've got to take some action. Okay? So again, everything comes to he who waits, so long as he who waits works like heck while he waits. Now, that is the key. The thoughts by themselves are great. You've got to think positively, you've got to think about what you want, but ultimately, you've got to put those thoughts into action. Move forward. Go do something. You see, just like we do with our horse. Ask your horse to do something. If it's what you want, great. If it's not, then change something, tweak something. But you see, you've got to take the action. You've got to put the work forth and forward. Mind, body, and spirit. So what is the spirit aspect of it? The spirit aspect of it is having faith. Have faith in yourself, have faith in your program, have faith in the outcome. Know that if you're thinking the right thoughts, you're working, you're putting in the due diligence, you're putting in the right amount of time, and you're working hard toward your goal, you've got to believe. In other words, you've got to have faith that that outcome is going to be there for you and that you are going to achieve that. So you see, everything comes. All we have to do is think about it. Think about it in the right ways. Think about it in positive ways. Don't let people tell you that you can't. Think about it and know that you can. And then go put the time in. Work at it. Work hard. Do whatever it takes physically, mentally, and emotionally to get done what you want to get done. And then lastly, have faith that it's going to work out. Have faith that you're going to go in the right direction. Have faith that the end result will be just as you had visualized and just as you had worked toward. Mind, body, and spirit. Everything comes to he who waits, so long as he who waits works like heck while he waits. And reward the thought. In other words, think positive, work hard, and have faith in your program. Have faith in yourself. And of course, as always, have faith in God, because that's what he wants from us, you see. He wants all of us to be successful in his name. Really hope you guys enjoyed that today. I appreciate the opportunity to share it with you. Thank you for joining me on the Ranch Road. And until next time, this is Van Hargis with Van Hargis Horsemanship.